Okay, folks, this is Jimmy Williams here again with video number two. Just like I said, I would bring it to you as soon as possible. I didn't want you to wait after getting that all of that content from video number one. And this video is entitled "How to Make $60,000 Within Your First 60 Days from Scratch," Part Two. And Part Two is going to be focusing on how to drive traffic and build your list. That's going to be the most important part of your business. So, how to make $5,000 in 60 days or possibly less than that from scratch. Okay, that's the video series name. But this video in particular is how to drive traffic and build your list step by step. Okay, so in order to do that, there's a couple of things that we have to establish, as I said before in the first video. Now, if you did not take time to watch that first video, this video is not going to make sense to you. You're going to be confused. You're not going to be comfortable doing some of the things that I'm going to show you today in this segment. To be quite frank with you, it'll be confusing, and you just it's going to be hard for you to follow everything we're trying to teach you here to make your campaign successful, to build your list, and to be able to effectively market your product or service, whether it be 5 links or whatever you're selling online. You want to follow the instructions from A to Z, okay? And if I had to guess where we are, we're probably about D, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. We're right there, not even in the middle yet. But after this video is over, we're going to be toward the end, okay? Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I mean, we're going to be finishing up on the next video, all right? But yeah, definitely we're about D, E, and F right now. You want to make sure you go back and do steps A, B, C, and D. And just to recap on that first video, let me take a look at it really quick. It's this video here. It says how to make $5,000 in 60 days from scratch. I go over, how to find something to sell, where to go and find it, how to connect with affiliate programs, or if you're an MLM company like 5links, in which I'm a part of, you can sell that product. Or, some of you are with Montev or whatever you're with, or Organo Gold, as I said before in the first video. There's a ton of other products you can sell, but you have to have something to sell. And then I spoke about creating a landing page. So when you start generating tons and tons of traffic, how you're able to keep some of that traffic by allowing them to go to your landing page and opt in. So if they don't decide to buy that day, they will eventually come back. You can send them an email and keep them interested and build relationship with them over time, so they begin to trust you, and they'll begin to buy whatever you're selling, as long as you're trustworthy and you keep your word and you show them that you care. They're not just another number. So at the end of the last video, I did talk about how to create that landing page. I created a landing page just for this series, and as you can see, I'm going to bring it up again. It wasn't like this on the last video. It had a different background. I went and I modified some things, and I'm going to tell you why I did that. So before we get into traffic, I want to tell you why having a good landing page is so important. If it's very attractive and if it's very simplified, you're going to have more opt-ins. Period. You want to have more opt-ins, because the more opt-ins you have, the higher your conversion rate is going to be. If you send 100 people to a landing page, if your landing page is more than average, if it's better than average, you should be seeing about 30 to 35% opt-in rate. That's if you send 10 people to a site, 3 or 4 of them should be joining. If you send 100, you should get between 30 and 40 opt-ins. If you're getting less than that, there's something wrong with the way you got it set up. But here's the finished product. What I did, I went back again. I'm using GetResponse. They have the ability to let you modify what you want to do. As you can see before in the first video, I had a city background. I modified that. I went on Google, found a good image, and modified it a little bit. Put it in there, showing a woman who, what she looked like before and what she looks like after, and then just put name and email. It's very simple. Do you need a 3-week diet plan? It's very simple, and it rolls off of what the product looks like and what the product talks about. The name of the product is called 3-week diet plan, and I'm following this strategically so you can see step by step what you do with one particular product. Okay. I also said that you got to have a catchphrase. You got to have something that's going to draw their attention. So what I said here is I said, we can help. Let us show you what works. Enter your name and email address to watch this free video now. And so what I did was it gives you the ability to connect your regular website here. So once they put their name and email in and you capture that lead, it takes them to your website. So let me just for just to show you how it works, let me just put something in here. Let me put my name, and I'm just going to put a simple email in there. Okay. And I clicked watch video, and instantly you see the video comes up. Okay. And this is my website here. It has my hop link in it. So I will get credit for the sale. However, I captured that lead. So now if they go here and they bounce back and don't want to buy, I still have them on my lead. Now let me just show you how that lead came in. It'll show me right here where it is. I tried it out a couple of times, but it's going to show me the contact in just a moment here. I went to the wrong area. It should tell us right now how many leads we got. Search the contacts. It would normally show me here. Just a moment while I'm looking this up. Oh, there it is, right here, right here. I was looking right over it. So you see that I re-entered my email in here. I put this one in. This is not a real one here, but instantly it captured that lead. So now I have that person in here, and that's how you build your list. Okay, and you can build it up to 100,000 people if you want. The more you do, the more you're going to pay to maintain it and send out leads. But when you build your list, these are your emails for life. Okay, and they're the life of your business. So back to what we were saying before. So now that we have that established, we have a website that has a landing page, okay, and we can capture leads. Now we're ready to generate traffic. All right. So what we want to do, number one, a couple things. We want to find networks or companies that will bring traffic that is fast, scalable, and consistent. You want to write that down. Traffic that's fast, scalable, and consistent. In other words, if you can't get the traffic fast, like a flip of a switch, if you got to wait weeks to get the traffic, if it trickles in really slowly, like let's say you do a lot of free advertising, you're posting ads on certain sites and you're not paying for that traffic, you got to depend on people to go and visit. That's not very reliable, folks, if you're trying to scale your business. And when I say scale, I mean one day, you may want to buy 100 visitors. Well, you find out that the product's working and it's converting, then you want to scale up to, let's say, 1,000 visitors. You should be able to click a button, pay a little bit more for the visitors, and get that traffic the next day. If you can't do that, then you're probably advertising or marketing in the wrong arena. You're using the wrong company. Okay, I tell people stay away from free advertising if you can avoid it. If you have no choice, then that's one thing. But if you can avoid it, you want to stay away from it because it doesn't tend to be scalable, and it's not always fast, and it's not always consistent. When you pay for traffic using these methods, pay per click, newspaper advertising, or renting a buyer's list, these are three of the most powerful ways to make your business flourish or jump from the next level from one level to the next. Okay, it's with a like flipping a switch. Really, it literally is. Okay, if you're making $1,000 per month, you find something that's working. All you got to do is use one of these, and you scale up. And a little later on, I'm going to talk about the buyers list. How it's out of the three, this is probably the most powerful list building method of getting buyers to buy. Then I would say pay per click and newspaper advertising. Now, I don't want to short you. That's not the word I'm looking for here. I don't want to downplay. That's the word I'm looking for these two methods here. Newspaper advertising is very powerful. I've used it before, and pay-per-click advertising because these are real fresh leads coming in. They're just not as powerful as renting a buyer's list. People who have bought online. Number two, we're going to talk a little bit about setting up your campaigns and negotiating with brokers who sell the lists. If you buy a buyer's list, you're going to have to go through a broker or rent a buyer's list. You got to go through a broker they're going to have this, they're the ones that rent you the list. You got to communicate with them. Or if you're setting up a campaign online, such as pay-per-click, there's a way to do that so it becomes profitable for you. Number three, in closing, we want to focus on the buyer's list, not prospects. This method alone will skyrocket your business and your money. Ultimately, we're not just looking for prospects. We're looking for people who will join our business. Okay. All right. So back up to the top here, pay-per-click. Let's start with one simple company that I know. I used them before. They're very effective. They're very inexpensive. However, you definitely, when you set up a campaign with Seven Search, I'm talking about sevensearch.com, you want to make sure that you there's a certain way to choose your clicks. You want to make sure that when you sign up with something like this, you're using good keywords that are relevant to what you're selling. In other words, if I'm selling how to make money online, most of my keywords should have something to do with making money, make money quick, or make money fast, or online, making money online, those kind of keywords. And when you write a keyword, it should always be, let me just show you this. When you put a keyword in to set up a campaign, you should always put it in brackets like this. I'm just using this because I don't have anywhere else to write, but make money online, and it should be in a bracket. And what that does is when you set up a pay-per-click campaign, you're not going to get any clicks until somebody actually types this in their search engine, like on Google. They'd have to type it in Google like this. All right. And if I was advertising on Google, my ad wouldn't come up unless I type that in. Well, on Seven Search, it's the same network, similar to Google. You want to make sure that you're not getting leads or people coming to your site that are not looking exactly for making money online. Okay. So this is one of the top ones that I use. They're very inexpensive. You can call them right here. And sometimes they'll have guys that will set up the campaign for you. Okay. And in your case, as I said before in the first video, you're not going to be an advertiser. You're going to be what we call a publisher. I said that wrong. I said that wrong. You're actually going to be an advertiser this time because you have a website and you're trying to drive traffic to that website. Okay. So you would come here and you want to advertise. Okay. So it tells you a little bit about what they do. They do pay-per-click advertising. Okay. And they're saying if you're already familiar with pay-per-click, you know how it works. You go here to start your campaign. You choose a file. Okay. Um, and a lot of say before you do any of this, you may want to call them first because some people who are very new to advertising online, you're not going to know what to do. I recommend calling them and have them set up a campaign for you. But what I would do, they're saying you can click here to enter some keywords. And as I was saying to you before, you definitely want to enter a keyword this way. I'll just go over it with you so you can see how it's done. Okay, if you notice, they don't give you a lot of space there. Okay, but I'm just going to put a couple in here now. Um, Online marketing. Make money on the internet will be a good one. And let's just see what happens here when we click this, see your campaign. See that? And you can enter daily budget, what you want to spend. Some people want to spend $10 a day. Okay. That's what we put there. Okay. Average cost per click. And you just keep going. You see that? So let's go back here. So in my case, I'm actually using a health and wellness product, right? So I'm going to put keywords that are relevant to that. Lose weight quick. Okay. Lose weight fast. Or weight loss everything that's relevant. Okay. I'm just going to use those three for now. Okay. Daily budget, $10 a day. And I tell people, do not put in more than $50 for an ad campaigns. In other words, do it for 5 days, $10 a day to see what kind of opt-ins you're getting. You don't want to keep doing anything. Pardon me. You don't want to overdo it. Okay, if something's not working, you don't want to continue to do the same thing over and over again. I'm just putting a dummy email in here just so you see how it works. Okay. Okay. And you will create an account. Okay. Passwords mismatching. So I did that on purpose because I already have an account and I'm not going to start one, but I'm just showing you what you would do to set it up, and it will go ahead and set up the account for you, and you'll be able to start advertising with them. Okay. And they're going to ask you to put your credit card information in there. I think they ask you to put like $50 in your credit card, so they actually take the money out as your campaign goes along. In other words, every day if you use up $10 worth, they'll take the $10 off of your credit card, and that's how it works. Okay, so you pay as you go. All right. So we went over that. So that's pay per click advertising. All right. You can do that with Google. Google AdWords are very expensive. MSN.com, they have something called MSN is the same as Bing, which is Bill Gates. That's his pay per click program, and they're very good. But they're a little costly. So stick with companies like Seven Search. If you Google Seven Search, there's a ton of other companies that come up with it. So again, pay per click's good, but it's not my best. But I highly recommend it for starters. If you're not sure if your product's going to sell, you want to just test it out. Number two, newspaper advertising. This is very effective, folks, because it's offline marketing. You're not dealing with everybody online. The only problem with online marketing sometimes, if you can't find buyers, you're dealing with what we call a lot of what we know as tire kickers. People are just looking around on websites and they're not really ready to buy. They're just prospecting. Well, when you do newspaper advertising, you go completely offline, and you can advertise to millions of people for pennies on the dollar. Highly recommend this. I've done this before and it actually works. Okay. So go to a website called nationwideadvertising.com. Again, nationwideadvertising.com. What they do is they work with other ad networks. They work with they found a way to merge and work with all the newspapers all over the country. And so they work strictly on a partnership basis. So what I'm saying is if you went to one newspaper by yourself, you'd probably pay $300 just to put an ad in there. $300 just to put one ad in one city. Whereas if you come to a company like newspaperadvertising.com, nationwideadvertising.com, they can put your ad in front of a million people, 20 cities for $180. It's a small ad, very small ad for a week. Okay, it's a classified ad, just like maybe 3 lines, 20 words, and you fill this information out right here. You pay with a credit card. Under here, you put in your email address and your ad copy. Okay, you would say what you want the ad to say. I would do something like this: need to lose weight fast. Put the little stars up there because it'll create urgency. People want to know what that is. You would say, visit our website now. Okay, and you would put the website here. Of course, I'm just giving you just a link. When you get your own website, you do how you want. But I'm just giving you an example. Lose weight now. That website's probably already taken. It's not my site, but I'm just giving you an example. .com. And that's what you do. Okay, you put your comments here. You say, well, um, I want this ad to run in 2 weeks. And that's all you got. And then you keep moving on. You go to checkout here, but that's basically it, folks. See how simple that is? That's a newspaper classified right there. These are very effective because over a million people. It's going to go to a million homes. People are going to be able to see it, and they'll look at this, and it's got to be something very simple. A website that's very simple. They'll take a look at it. They go to their computer or their cell phone and type this in and go to your landing page. If they don't want to buy anything, they'll go to your landing page right here. Let's leave this page, and they'll fill out this short form right here. Okay, name it. That's all you're trying to do right now is you're trying to create a buzz and get their information. All right, and once you do that, you're done. You're done. Newspaper advertising, I would say number two, but behind buyers list, this is one of the best ways to go. All right, you can save a lot of money. You can reach a lot of people. Once you find something that works, you can scale it up. The most powerful word in marketing right now is scaling. You want to be able to scale things up, but you cannot scale up unless you know what works. Some of you don't have $180, so you're going to have to do pay-per-click right now. But when you do, I highly recommend doing something like this. You can go up. You can once you find out something that works, you can go up and make a lot more money. You can just scale up to something much bigger. Let's go here and take a look at this one. You want to reach 7 million people? You can spend, $600, $630, and reach 7 million homes. I mean, how long would it take you to speak to 7 million people on your own? It would be very hard to do that. But with newspaper advertising, you leverage. This is something that's very important in business. It's called leveraging your time. Can you imagine putting this squeeze page, this page here in front of 7 million people? It would extremely build my list. My list would probably be in the thousands. All right. Because what's going to happen with your list is this is the law of averages, folks. If it's a good landing page, the law of averages, let's pull up the calculator. All right. Is, let's say 7 million people, it goes to 7 million people, 7 million homes. Okay. About 10% are probably going to see it. 10% are actually going to see the ad. Okay. So that's 700,000 people. All right. So out of the 700,000 that see it, it's possible that anywhere from 1 to 3% of these people are going to opt in. 1 to 3%. So let's just say 2% on the low end. All right. So out of 700,000 people, if you have a 3% opt-in rate, that's 14,000 leads you have. Now, as I said earlier in the video, some people, they can get their landing page up to 30 and 40%. Those are numbers that are staggering, but it's actually true. It actually works. But on the bare minimum, on the low end, if you don't know what you're doing yet, you can get 14,000 people to opt into this page right here with a $700 investment. If you got it in front of that many people, that's the power of marketing offline. Okay. Thirdly, I'm going to talk about the most powerful way to make money. I think in the history of internet marketing, online or offline, no matter what you're selling. And a lot of this stuff is not taught. A lot of people are not taught. Again, only the top 1% money earners online and offline who know about marketing will tell you that know this, but they won't even tell you that it works. But it's renting buyers lists. That's where the big money is. You want to set up your campaigns. We talked a little bit about how to do that, and how to negotiate with brokers, because when you deal with a buyer's list, more than likely you're going to speak with a broker. You're going to go to a certain website and they're going to tell you what they have, and then if you're interested in purchasing buying the list or renting the list, you need to contact them via email or phone call, and that's going to be on a personal level to build that rapport with them before they rent you the list. They don't just rent it to anyone. Okay. So the best website that I know of that I use and tons of other marketers use is called nextmart.com. You have to put lists.nextmart.com. So it's lists.nextmart.com. They're one of the best that's on the world right now. Okay. So let's just say, okay, so I got this product here. Let's go back to the product. I want to find people who have bought online probably within the last 60 days online with products online. Okay. And with that being said, let me see what I can do as far as showing you exactly how to enter in the right keyword for that. All right. So you can see I've been playing with this already. Let's just choose weight loss. People who want to lose weight and consumers only. Okay. It's going to take about a minute to come up because it goes through all of this information here. Okay. Let's see. I think something came up. Weight loss. Let me see. Let's try that again. Let's try this again. I got to type it in here and see what comes up. It may take a few seconds to come up, but we'll get it. All right, there we go. All right, so diet and weight loss, okay? We want to find buyers. We're looking for We're not looking for people who are just interested. We're looking for buyers in certain specific areas sometimes. Okay, let's take a look here. NutriShift weight loss buyers. You can see the email here and the phone numbers they have for $100 a month. Uh, Weight loss Bodygenics weight loss supplement buyers. Online interest. You want to stay away from interest because these people are not guaranteed to buy. But these people in here who buy products, where you see the word buyers, those are the ones you want to deal with. Vitamin and weight loss product buyers. Here we go. That's where we want to be. What you do is you click on it, and it will tell you a little bit about what the people have been doing, their shopping habits. Okay, the consumers here have looked into the mirror and decided that this year is a year, pardon me, is the year that they will take control of their weight problem. They have watched the pounds creep on bit by bit, and they have drawn that invisible line in the sand and declared no more. Okay, and it just talks about what they do here. Um, these are people who actually have bought already. All right, they're not considering; they're ready to buy. That's the big difference. Okay, so if you look over here, you can see that they've opted in. You'll see the gender male is 60% female, 40% males. Um, the ethnicity, I can't talk today. Ethnicity, gender, and all that. The income and all that. You can search and get all this information. But pay close attention to this part here. The phone numbers. Okay, you can rent the phone numbers for $20 a month. You see that? And that's 450,000 people here. This is the stuff you want to look at because when you get this information, only you have it, and you can take it and you can contact them. If you want to do text alerts and stuff like that, I highly recommend finding a good text alert company that will help you with this. When you get that, you can upload that big list, and again, these are buyers, and send them text alerts. And the reason I like text alerts is it's a little bit different than email. Email, the more emails you get, or the more you send out, the more you're going to pay. With text alerts, you pay a flat rate of like $70 a month, and you can send out millions of text alerts. Okay, and so this will be something great for that. You can send them a link in a text alert of your email where they can go in as to your landing page and they can opt in. Okay, I would definitely go with this any day for $20 a month. This is what we call ninja marketing. This is above average marketing. You're cut above the rest of the competition because they simply don't understand that it's much easier to convert a buyer than a prospect or someone looking. Because these guys are not looking anymore. They're ready to make a move, right? So, as I said before about contacting the actual buy the guy that's actually selling this, which would be the broker, when you check on pricing or you want more information, you're going to click on one of these buttons here, and you're going to have to fill out this application here. Well, not an application, just information about yourself, your job title, and all that, blah blah blah, the company, okay, and just your phone number and who your needs and all that. I'm just doing this so you see how it works, and you send the information. I would click here. Okay, I'm not going to send it now, but that's what you would do. Okay, they want to know more about you, and the broker would more than likely, when you leave your email, he'll contact you back. And so basically, that's how that would work. Okay, so in the event that you find something like that, you are, as long as you're set up to receive that traffic and hold on to it, you're ready to make money. Now you can make big money. Okay, you're further along than most people. Once you figure out that you have something that they want to buy and you find buyers, that's 90% of your internet marketing or your marketing in general, online and offline. And there are several ways that you can get traffic to your site. You can buy lists, okay? You can buy email lists, and I just told you how to do that. Or you can rent these lists, but there's other places you can buy lists as well. The best place to start would be here. There's another website that you can go to that I use sometimes. It's called Fiverr.com. All right. And if you want to buy lists dirt cheap, and you want to use a different system, a different platform to take those lists and import them, you can do that. I don't recommend buying traffic from Fiverr. Fiverr, that's they have places ways you can buy traffic from them. They have advertisers selling 10,000 visitors for $5, and I don't recommend doing that because the traffic more than likely is not good traffic. Stick with the other traffic sources that I recommended. However, if you want to buy emails from people that are selling emails, you would just click here. You would just type in buy email list. Okay, and you'll see a group of lists that come up. People that are selling email lists. You would just click on one of them and say, "Hey, listen, I want to buy an email list from. I want to buy a list from you." Okay, I bought on here before. They're actually pretty good. You want to get target lists. Don't just get anything from other countries or places you don't know about. You want, depending on the business that you have, some businesses only do business in the U.S. So an email list from China wouldn't do you any good. So you would go down here, you would send them a message, you would see what they have. This person says I will provide you 10,000 emails. I can provide what you need for just $5. So for $5, you can have a list of 10,000 emails, which you can import. And that's easy to do. I'll show you how to do that. You can just inbox me and or you can send them a message and say, "Hey, listen, I want to talk to you. I want to see what kind of list is this." You click on where it says "Contact me." You would talk to the person. I have to log in, of course, here. Okay, and you want to see what they're selling. You want to see, and you just say, "Hey, listen, are these lists active?" And you can say something like, "What type of niche is it?" Okay, and they'll tell you, well, it's make money online or weight loss or whatever it is, and they'll respond and tell you what it is. Okay, Fiverr.com, they're really good at that, and they'll just download the list to you, and you'll be able to get it. I bought some recently. I bought 100,000 from them for dirt cheap, and you can see here I have a list here, and I see I have 100,000 here. But this list means nothing if you don't know what to do with it. Okay, when you upload these lists and you send your traffic to them, you have to get them to opt in. If you don't get any opt-ins, then maybe sometimes the list is not good. It's not good. Some lists are good, some are not. I'm just giving you that information so you know where to go and how to get lists. Getting lists are not a problem. It's getting those lists to convert. So I'm pretty much done with that part. I mean, if you can listen and just everything I share with you today, if you can just remember everything that I shared with you today, you're going to be just fine as far as getting traffic to your site, building your list, and now you're ready to make money. All right. But the main two things I want you to remember is you have to have a landing page that's easy, like this, and you have to get buying traffic to the site, to this site here when they fill it out. And that's where you deal with one company and one company only. That's list.nextmart.com. Don't deal with anybody else. You can do whatever you want to do. I mean, it's up to you. I give you some examples, but if you want to make sales, you want to build your business. Me, it's 5 links. I have other products that I sell, but I'm focusing on 5 links. I would go here. I would put in for myself. I would put in MLM. Okay, and it's going to give me a list of MLM companies of people that bought MLM products before. See, look at this. Look at all these. I mean, this is what you want, right? Hungry business opportunity leads. These are the top ranked ones at the top here. All right. See this? This file consists of consumers who have the necessary funds to begin a new venture and are interested in owning their own business. So these people are not necessarily broke. I can rent the email list for $30 per month. Look at that, and absolutely crush it. Direct mail. That's dealing with, you getting their addresses so you can send them a postcard. Have 700,000 of those. Telephone, 50,000 people for $15 a month. You can absolutely crush it. Facebook, 3.8 million. You can absolutely crush it. Okay, folks, that's pretty much it for today. I know that this information, it's a lot. I didn't want to overwhelm you, but Just stick with those two methods that I just shared with you. Building a good landing page, going to this website and running a list and driving traffic to that landing page. Okay, setting up your campaign. Those simple steps, because a lot of marketers make it so complicated for you guys and you don't know what to do, where to start. Do those two things and you're going to be just fine. Well, that's all for today, folks, and I hope this was profitable for you. Again, my name is Jimmy Williams. Take care. Bye-bye.